Welcome back to another amazing episode of Beyond the Desk. I'm Chad. Amy's over there. And today we're going to be talking about our checklist over the next several months until we depart for Colombia. How's it
Hello.
going?
Good. How are you?
My allergies are still kicking my butt,
Yeah.
but I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad here for the past few weeks.
Until like mid-July,
Yeah.
it's going to kind of be like this for me.
Right. And we're going up north for our
Anniversary.
first year anniversary.
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
be nice.
We're going to go to Charlevoix.
Relaxing.
So, for those of you that don't live in Michigan or have never been to Michigan, it is absolutely a beautiful state. Water everywhere. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, and my good buddy Steve has a place up there, so we're able to
Yeah.
go up, relax, bring
Bring
the
Sadie.
nugget, um, and just really enjoy peace and quiet, but unplugging and
And each
relaxing.
other and just kind of like check back of where we were last June
Yeah,
to now.
yeah.
It's great.
So we're gonna have. You can't see it right now, but our board, I took a big picture of it, and that's up on the screen right now. And this is going to be our checklist. So we're going to kind of go over what this is. But first, I just want to briefly go over why did we do this?
Yeah.
So tell us why we're here, why we're talking about.
Well, ADHD brains means we don't plan always the best. So breaking things up into smaller chunks works better for us and helps us really be able to enjoy that check. Got it.
Right.
And know we're really prepared because it's not a 10-day stay.
No, and there's a lot to it. And forgetting something or forgetting to do something
Right.
can be a big deal for a 3-month stay. So this is not only a checklist of all the things that we want to accomplish, but things that we need to do.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, it's into smaller, digestible pieces.
Yeah, that's great.
So this is our checklist back up on the screen, and at the top, I can't remember if it's in the picture or not, but it says that our departure date is December 10th, and that's flying out from Florida, but we got to get there.
Right.
And so we're also going to be commuting with the doggo from Michigan to Florida. And so we're going to drive down, and we're going to be leaving here as of right now, the 6th.
That could be earlier.
Plus or minus
we
day.
know.
We'll see. We'll play that by ear.
We have to be pretty spot on with that the closer it gets, though, because of Sadie's paperwork. It has to be no more than 10 days out for her. Oh, my goodness. Yes, that was Chad's sneeze into the microphone. Allergies are real, people.
I had myself muted, but it probably still came through your microphone.
It sure did.
Holy cow. My apologies.
Those are loud. But yes, so her paperwork has to be according to Colombia regulations is that they have to be no more than 10 days out, signed by a vet who is certified to for all of her medical records to be able to for her to be able to go to do international travel. I can't even talk today. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so May, we don't have to go through the whole checklist. The whole idea is to talk about why we have this checklist, the things that are part of it, but also some important things as we are creating this.
Yeah.
Some other folks may not have thought of. So let's go and just go through some of these. So
Yeah, can I have a squirrel moment?
Yeah, jump in.
Can I just tell you how happy I am that we've gotten our new pictures up? So this wall is now complete. And I used mixed tiles, so we don't do any affiliations or anything, do we? Like we don't work with anybody. But mixed tiles are amazing. And we had 6 pictures total done of pictures that we took while we were in Colombia. So this whole wall back here is all of us in Colombia.
Looks amazing.
So it is amazing.
And they're great
it's really
memories.
beautiful. Yeah.
So great job picking them out. We got them hung up. They're magnetic, so we can
Yeah.
fine tune, adjust them if we want to.
No holes in your wall.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so month by month, we've used a little bit of, our Chat GPT agent to help us organize and put things together. But basically, we started from the top. So ChatGPT, we basically fed it and we said, "Here's what's happening. We're doing this. Here's who we are, and here's what we want to accomplish. Give us a list of everything that we need to think of in order to do a 90-day trip
Right.
abroad." Right, and maybe 20% of this was actually from there. The
Mm-hmm.
rest of it we already knew or that we put in because it's specific to our
And
life.
we've been researching this now for almost a year,
Yeah.
so we kind of knew what we needed.
We definitely knew that we needed to get it down on paper, so to speak, of
Yeah.
what we need to do.
I have to say, what are those big plastic bags we're taking? We have 6 of them.
Oh,
Vacuum
yeah.
bags, use those. So beneficial. We are taking 4 suitcases and 2 backpacks, 2 carry-on suitcases, and then 2 really, really big ones. And I know that I'm not taking very many clothes down with me because I have some shopping to do when I get to Colombia, and I can't wait.
Also Sadie's house.
And Sadie's house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's part of the
So we'll have
baggage as
5
well.
things in 2 backpacks.
Yep. 5 things in 2 backpacks. And her.
And it's quite the.
It's
You know when you're ever at the airport and you see like that family that has like the pushy cart with like
so
this
many
might be them. They
bags.
might be moving someplace.
You think?
I always think I'm like I just got to carry on.
I think it's just for vacation they're going.
I can't imagine needing.
You got 5, 3
I've
to
seen
5
couples
kids.
do that where they got
Well,
7
that might be a
bags.
little bit different, but with all those
Yeah.
kids, I would imagine you would want to take that and everything in the house just to,
Ugh.
yeah.
Yeah, Sadie's enough. Okay, so we broke everything down. May, we've got Surah, which is talk about and find out and discover insurance. What are the needs,
Check.
right? You needed a travel backpack because your current backpack was literally a book bag.
Yeah.
So you needed one that was going to let you pack stuff, but also protect your laptop and your equipment.
Well, something we had thought about was if you, for some awful reason, don't get your baggage in time, that with this backpack that I have now, I can actually pack a couple of outfits, my makeup, things like that I need, my skincare, whatever, and have it so that if our luggage by some reason for some reason does get lost, I actually have a couple of days of clothes. So that was something else, one of the reasons that I wanted that.
Yeah, and that's important to do if you're checking a bag regardless. Have a
For
couple days
sure.
closed just in the event of,
Yeah.
because you can most and anything that is not replaceable, like if you can travel with your
Yeah.
medication, if you need, or even if it's just some of it to hold you over till you can
Yes,
replace it.
medication is key
But
if
what
you
you
have
don't want to
that.
do is pack the stuff that you absolutely need and then check that bag because if it gets
Mhm.
lost, you might be
Exactly.
having a tough time. Okay, so travel backpack, check. And we haven't checked anything off the list because we,
No.
yeah. Create a packing list. This is
So
our
we
preliminary, right?
so we have Apple Apple phones, and so within that we have
Notes.
notes, and so within that, and we can share it with each other, so we both can add to the at the same time. So we have started that, and so we have it with us. So if we're out shopping, doing the grocery shopping, and we see something, we can go ahead and add it to the notes. Then we don't have to wait until we get home or anything. So
Yeah, and
that's really nice.
it's also thinking about some of the things that we can only get here that we might not be able to get there
Right.
that have become part of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Create a savings account. You're saving all the
I already
ducats.
have it. I started that like
Yeah.
a while ago, but yeah.
Map to Miami. So I plotted our course. I figured out where we're going, how we're going to get there, what the drive time looks like, what are places that we can stop and stay at if needed. But we also have family that are going to cover 2 of our stops.
Which is awesome that we get to see family on the way
Get to see
down.
family, spend some time with them because they're
Yeah.
far away. We don't always get to do that except for holidays
Right.
every other year.
And we are going to fly out of Miami, we've decided.
Yeah,
What are the other places that we could have flown out of if
not
we wanted
many.
to? Fort Lauderdale? No.
No,
Daytona?
no,
No.
definitely not Daytona. It's a really small
I don't
airport.
remember.
Um,
Not Daytona. Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale was the only other
Yeah.
one, but it was with an airline we didn't want to do.
Correct.
So when it comes to American, Miami's the option. That's all
Yeah.
we got, which is fine because Miami's perfectly fine, and it's at the tip,
Yep.
which means the shortest distance to our new
To
destination.
Miami Shores.
Right? We could have
It's like
we
3
could
and a
have
half
flown
hour
out
flight.
of New York, right? That just doesn't make sense. That's a direct. and then there was one, I think Washington had a direct, but those just don't make sense because those are like 6 hour flights now, and that's so far and so long for her.
Yeah. It's
So
long for
my
us.
Yeah, so Miami made a lot of sense for us, and minimize airtime with
And be able to
Chicago.
see family on the way down, which really made sense to us.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool. So that's May. We've got almost all of May done, considering May's almost over. So our next one in June, pick a place, packing list. What does that say? Dog reg for Sadie.
May is over.
What does dog reg for Sadie mean?
So the dog regulations
Regulations.
for the airline and for Colombia. So I'm looking at like there's three. There's the United States because we have to bring Sadie back in. And then what Colombia says she has to have in order to enter the country, and then what the airline says is appropriate in order for her to board.
Got
So
it.
all of that has to be done.
Regulations. Got it. Okay, and then that's it for June, right? Doctor oh, and you're also gonna phone a friend, one of our friends down there.
Yes, I'm going to phone one of our friends because Chad and I need a dentist and we need, a doctor. Yeah, all those kinds of things. And so having somebody that you know down there already could be super, super helpful, which is another reason why we wanted to hire an assistant in case we ended up with a doctor or whatever that didn't speak English. And so they could actually translate for us. But we're going to do our best to find somebody that's bilingual.
Right. Um so that's June. That's a pretty light load. That's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm just gonna go through these because
Yeah.
it's not really necessary to go through everything, but we've got coming up, we've got our test pack, which I think is a big one. So
July.
it's actually getting our luggage, packing it, checking weight, making sure that we're good to go there.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's something that Chad and I wouldn't use the word panic. We don't like big surprises like that would keep us from being able to get on our flight. So making sure that our luggage weighs what it's supposed to weigh was really important to us. It may not be for anybody else, but so we were going to do this packing, thing and we're going to do it twice. So it's not just going to happen once. We're going to do one in July and then I think we're going to do another one in October. But we'll get to that in just a second. And so we have two large, two small, and then two backpacks. And then we also have Sadie's new little house. I think we talked about that in the last episode. And then our two backpacks. August, we are going to try to find an affordable assistant and maybe do some interviews or something like that. But here's something that Chad has not been able to complete, and that is his
Sedgula.
cedula, his Colombian
Picking it
ID.
up. Yeah.
We have not been able to get a hold of anybody to get an appointment in Chicago at the Colombian
I've
consulate there.
Excuse me. I've literally got two tickets, and
Yeah.
their autoresponder said your ticket is like I got confirmation that they've received it. I've got two tickets, one with DC, one with Chicago, saying what's it going to take for me to get there and then schedule an appointment. When I was doing the passport, it was easy.
Easy.
They literally said, "Here's the date that's available. Does that work?" No. How about this day? Yeah, that works. Perfect. They booked it. For some reason, I can't get an appointment I can't get a response to even get an appointment because I'm not going to, you can't just show up.
No, you have to
You
have an
have to have an
appointment.
appointment.
But you did one for DC now too, so you've reached out to DC and created a ticket there
Who,
and to
and DC is the
Chicago.
one who was already
Yeah.
responsive. And my hope
Yeah.
was there's some kind of connection where they could either book it for me or get in touch with people in Chicago to
Right.
at least reach back out to me.
So we were really fortunate.
And this has been since February.
Oh my God, yeah, it's been a minute. We were in Colombia when you got the email saying that the cedula was ready to pick up, and we have yet. It's June, so we have yet to be able to pick that up.
We'll get it, but we pushed that trip. We have it on our list, but we pushed that trip a couple months because it's not fully in our control.
It's not, but we need it.
It needs to get done.
Gotta have it. So, and then the other one, so that's August. So really kind of a light load there as well, but really important pieces because in the meantime, Chad and I are busting our butt to continue to build Ever Studios Creative. I have the nonprofit, so lots of stuff going on. we're having our fundraiser coming up in October or the end of September. So there's just a lot going on outside of this. So this is why we had to break it up into smaller chunks. And then September, I have to I see my doc every 3 months. And so I'm going to talk to her and make sure that I have everything that I need. And she's aware because that falls into that September appointment will fall into that first week of December. And may not be here. So I need to make sure I can get my stuff done ahead of time and just having that conversation with her. Backup documents. So, Chad, you mentioned the backup documents.
Yeah, so it's been suggested everywhere to make sure that you have digital copies of all of your paperwork. S- Technically, a photocopy of your passport is
Mhm.
not legit, but it does in the event that you need to have them look it up to print off an emergency passport because yours was lost or
Yeah.
stolen. It gives you the information,
Hmm.
but it's not actual documentation,
Correct.
but it helps facilitate getting your documentation if you need to.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really about just having the backup stuff, but in a digital version, now you're not carrying around any of your paperwork that you shouldn't be carrying around on your person anyways.
Yeah. And you don't, but they do tell you in Colombia to make sure that if you're out and about and you're a tourist, to have a copy of your ID like take pictures of your
Right.
passport and your ID. So
Right.
curious if you get stopped by the policia, then this is what you have to give to them.
Right.
Um, and then check on Amazon. So this has been a little fun. So we're huge Amazon people.
It's
So
embarrassing how like I had a friend who is
there's a little bit of shame
I have,
around
I have a friend who was asking they're going to be working on their own business and they're saying, well, what's the equipment that I need? And I went to Amazon to look at what everything that I purchased, and like my whole office is from Amazon.
Yep.
Um, and I'll tell you, over a decade ago, I was like anti Amazon, shop small. I'll tell you, convenience, but also a lot
Yeah.
of small businesses are able to sell through Amazon as
Mhm.
well as a
Yeah,
distributor.
that's true.
But the convenience, man, that and then here's the other thing. It's also competitive on pay as
It
well.
is.
So what we pay is also competitive. So I could go to a local shop and it was most likely going to be more expensive.
Mhm.
And you just at that point you just have to be logical with it. All that to say, there's a lot of stuff that we shop on Amazon for, and we need to see what is or is not going to be available, and then if it is available, what do the shipping costs
Right.
look
And
like?
and in order to do that, you have to have a residential address in Colombia. It cannot be a business address. So we had one to use as an example, and to see what the shipping costs would be. Would some of the products that we buy, like Sadie's food, for instance, be able to be delivered? And another thing is we have Prime here, so we get most things in a couple of days. It's 10 days out there.
Right,
10 days to 14 in
right.
order to get your stuff. So we have to do extra planning while we're there. I don't think this is anything that's going to really throw us off. We just have to be really we have to really make sure we're planning out, looking far enough out to
Right.
get it.
And you mentioned it earlier, controlling what we can control. We
Yeah.
don't like to be surprised. So if we can prepare for it,
Yeah.
then we won't get down there and be like, oh crap, we can't get what we need.
Right.
Now what?
And
Right.
listen, this is us being kind of bougie, right? We want what we want. As we get older, we want things to be even
Yeah.
more so. But it's not like we're going to die if we don't have, whatever.
So
So
yeah, and then the next month, October, we're going to be doing another test pack.
that's
So
the
the expectation is that
big one.
between July and October, we're going to have more things. We're going to refine what it is that we want to take, and so we're going to do an additional test pack, pack everything as if we're leaving the next day.
Right.
Everything. What does it look like? What does it weigh? Who's carrying what? All of the things. It's our practice. It's our dry run. I've already tested everything fits in the vehicle. So, and we're in May. I've already tested that to make sure it all
Do you think
fits.
most people are doing what we're doing?
Well, listen, I hope so. But if they're not, I hope they hear this and say, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
Prepare
We
because
hope it's helped somebody out there for
yeah,
sure.
I did a trip with my mom in Spain, and I drove, and everything was in the back, and we got a flat tire, and I got the tire changed in like 12 minutes flat, but I also had to unload everything from the trunk
Mm,
and then re-Tetris it back in because it was full to the brim.
yeah,
Packing strategically, it can help you a ton.
sure.
It can really play a significant part.
And plus, I think that's also a part of how your brain works. And
Yeah.
Chad definitely has a process when he's at the airport, like bam, 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 bam. And now he's got two more of us coming with him, which he and I, we travel all the time together, but now we have Sadie. So he's not quite sure what it's going to
I
look
had a
like.
family thing and I was traveling with my dad and my cousin, and man, they just are just kind of willy nilly, just show up, do their thing. And I'm like, I,
Chad's like, I'm already through in pre check. Like,
I'm already
I'm,
through pre check. 19 minutes is the delay, by the way, between pre check and non pre check
oh,
for a domestic flight
really?
on the way out.
We
And
are
then on the way
spoiled.
back, it was over 30-minute difference. So pre check is definitely worth it.
Oh, I am so
BT
glad
dub.
I did that for
Okay,
sure.
so the other thing that we have is after a test pack is also informing our clients, which is an important thing. We want to make sure our clients fully know and have expectations of we're going to be gone, but we're still there for them,
Yep.
right? As far as they're concerned, nothing changes. As far as we're concerned, the only thing that changes is we click the VPN button.
Yeah.
That's it. Business as usual. We're
Yeah. Because we
within
don't
an
really see our clients in
we're
person.
within hour difference, depending upon daylight savings or not, of Colombia. So timing, our business hours are the same, but they should know that
Yeah.
we're abroad.
And it's going to be the same time difference. It'll be Eastern Standard Time by the
Yeah.
time we get there in December. So the time change is not there. So that's awesome. And one of the reasons that another reason we really loved being in Colombia is because there was no real time difference, which makes it easier for us. We can still get up and do our jobs the same that we do here. For me, the nonprofit, so I am out in the community a lot. I am at the farmers market selling our candles to help fundraise, all those kinds of things. But come December and January, our nonprofit slows down a lot. And that's my time to go behind the scenes and kind of clean up things and look at our strategic plan and do all those kinds of things. So it really makes sense for us for those 3 months. For me to be able to sit at my computer and do all the things for the nonprofit. We did have our board meeting last Thursday. And so I did tell the board what was going on. And I just said, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's so you're active out doing,
I'm not on vacation the
and then
whole time.
during the slow period,
Yeah.
that's like an office day, right?
Hmm.
I would have office days, and then I would have field days.
Right.
And the field days, you're out there working with the people doing the action stuff, and then the office days, those are the days you're sitting down at the computer putting together your plan. That's literally what this is, and it's your slower time anyways for nonprofits.
Yeah. And I work two jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't even work. I'm not even able to work full time for a courageous voice. So, and then we have November. November is a pretty big month.
Yeah, so November we've got several things going on. Um,
Utilities.
we have utilities, we have mail forwarding, and then also connecting with our banks to find out if they have requirements about international. Okay, so American Express, they don't care. Well, they don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to notify them. Bank of America, though, if I'm going to a different state, I have to
Yeah, you
notify
do.
them.
You can actually do that online.
Just through the app.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's part of their fraud detection and
Hmm.
making sure that nothing's fraudulently happening. So, but that's on the list because if we forget to do that and we go to pay for something and we can't, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Control what we can control.
And then Bank Colombia, which is the bank that we use in Colombia.
Yep.
So working with that as well.
Yep.
And then what else do we have going on here? I
That's
think
it for
that's it.
November. So then jumping into December, we've got Sadie's medical paperwork. So now is the time that Sadie's stuff actually starts, and our vet is giving us our checklist of things that we have to do between now and December.
And we're back.
Yep. But that's when we have everything gathered for all of the paperwork
Yep.
so that when we go through and all that good stuff, everything's in
Yeah.
order, ready
And then
to go.
48 to 72 hours prior to our departure flight, which hopefully we can get a flight out on the 10th.
Check Meg.
Check Mig. Oh, wait. When are we doing Airbnb?
What do you
I
mean?
didn't put that on there.
Pick
Did
place.
Where?
June.
June. Oh, so next month.
Next month,
We're going to,
by the end, we will choose our place, put our deposit down.
which we kind of already have, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, and you know something I've heard it twice now, is that you can use Airbnb, contact the owner. This is only in Colombia. I don't know about anywhere else. In Colombia, haggling is it's considered
It's fair practice
normal, like it's what they do. Um, that you can actually talk to them
to negotiate.
to negotiate
Yeah,
for a lower
listen,
price.
that's your strong point. So I'm leaving that all up
I
on
don't
you.
know if it's my strong point, but
That's stronger than me.
yeah.
Yeah, I pay sticker. I'm just terrible with that. I will get taken advantage of in every country we visit.
Geez, good
Yeah,
to know.
yeah, that's on you. And then the most important thing on the entire wall, December 4th, Amy gets her hair done
Amy, oh, and my nails.
and your nails. Your final U.S. based nails
Yes,
for.
because I have to find somebody there. And so I do have somebody that I think will be able to help me at least find somebody to do that. So I need to get the color. I have it's red and then highlights. So I have to get that taken care of and find somebody that can do that there. So, guys, that is our whole checklist for this episode that we're going to be talking about. And then, what was it we were going to talk about on the next episode? Do you remember? It's terrible.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sadie's bullet point list because we're going to go over her
Ooh,
training
yes.
and everything
And
that
her paperwork.
paperwork.
It's really going to be important because there are a lot of people out there that like to fly with their pets, their dogs,
So
especially.
yeah, so this particular episode for next time is really going to be focused around um, three key pieces:
Yeah.
service dog,
Mm-hmm.
traveling internationally with the dog, and training. Those
Right.
are the key things we're going to be talking about. So not going to be relevant for every single person,
Correct.
but there's going to be a lot of people this makes a lot of sense for.
Absolutely. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So, guys, thanks for joining us today. And until next time, keep expanding your horizons and living beyond the desk. Have a great week.